Hey guys, it's good to see you. Okay, I can't really see you. But today we're going to talk about how we can convert some measurements. And in this case, we're going to be converting customary measurements or the American measurements. And we are going to be converting from feet to inches or from feet to yards or from miles to feet or miles to yards. Or we can go the other way where we can go from inches to feet or feet to yards. We're not going to worry too much about converting miles into inches because nobody really does that. So let's take a look here and we're going to get started. Let's start by taking a look at some of these problems over here on the right side. I can see that on my very first problem, I have the problem of 5 feet equals blank inches. So I'm going to look over here at my chart and I can see that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So if 1 foot would equal 12 inches, 2 feet would equal 24, 3 would equal 36. It kind of seems like we're multiplying. So I'm going to multiply 5 feet, which is what we know, times 12, which is how many inches are in a foot. That equals 60 inches. So on this first problem, it is going to be 5 feet equals 60 inches. Now I'm going to take a look at this next little problem here. And in order to do that, I am looking for 4 yards equals blank feet. So again, I'm going to look at my chart. In this case, 1 yard equals 3 feet. So 2 yards would equal 6 feet. So let me get my pen here. So it seems like we're going to be multiplying again. In this case, we're going to take 4 yards times 3, which that equals 12 feet. So 4 yards equals 12 feet. Now we're going to get into some little bit bigger numbers as we are going to be dealing with some miles here. So we're interested in 3 miles is equal to how many feet? Well, I can see in the chart that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So I'm going to follow that same pattern that I was doing before where I'm going to be multiplying. In this case, I'm going to multiply 3 miles times 5,280. So that's going to be fairly significant. It's actually 15,840 feet. So 3 miles equals 15,840 feet. Now the last one there, yards are a little bit bigger than a foot. So I am going to go ahead and know that 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. So I'm going to follow that same basic pattern where I am going to do some multiplying. In this case, I'm going to do 2 miles times 1,760 yards in each one, and that is going to equal 3,520 yards. So the way that I always look at it is if I know something, like I know how many feet, or I know how many yards, or I know how many miles, and I want to know how many of the smaller units there are, I am multiplying. When I move from the left side of the chart, I'm moving to the right, that means that I need to multiply. So let's take a look at this again, but this time we're going to go a little bit differently, because in this case we know how many inches and we want to change that over to feet. So I'm going to look at my chart again, and I can see that 1 foot equals 12 inches. Or in this case, I can look at this as saying 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Well, I know how many inches I have. I have 48 inches, but I don't know how many feet. Now, on those last ones, I was showing you that you would multiply because we would have been moving from the left side to the right side of the chart. But in this case, we're moving from the right side of the chart over to the left. It seems like we're doing the opposite, So we should do the opposite of multiply, which means we should do divide. So in this case, I'm going to do 48 divided by 12, and that equals 4 feet, which means 48 inches equals 4 feet. Now on the next one, I am going to do another division step, but in this case, I'm looking for how many yards there are in 14 feet. So I'll look at my chart again. I can see 1 yard has 3 feet in it. Well, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because, again, I know I have 14 feet, but I'm going to do a division. In this case, I'm going to divide it by 3. Well, when I do 14 divided by 3, I end up getting 4 remainder 2, which means that inside of 14 feet, that means that I have 4 yards with 2 feet left over. That remainder becomes how many feet you have left over. So when I know on the left or on the right side of my chart and I'm looking for the stuff that is on my left, that means that I am moving from right to left. When I move from right to left, that means that I need to divide. I hope that helps you out today with your work, and take a look again at some other stuff when I get it posted. Thanks a lot.